What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker MRIN or Marin software. What you'll notice is that on the left-hand side, we're looking at the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute time frame. If you're not familiar with my charts, the 200 SMA is the green line, and the blue line represents the 50 SMA. Same thing goes, of course, for the daily time frame here on the left. Let's just map out some very obvious areas of support and resistance. I will say here at 625, we'll call it just for round numbers' sake, and the 50 SMA, we are starting to see some buying activity, aka support, coming into play. Now we're getting a little bit of renewed interest in Marin ever since, or because likely I would assume, we have earnings coming up. You can see a slight bump in volume, but certainly nothing compared to what we had from in the past. Now just based on the trading activity here, huge shoot up and pretty much collapse, near 100% retracement there, I would make the argument that there's a fair amount of people bag holding from up here and also a fair amount of people short from up here. So just know the type of context and the type of stock that it is that you're trading. I would not recommend this to any newer traders. It may look like it could provide an impressive return like this from in the past, but more often than not, these kind of just dribble out, peter out, and go sideways here. So that being said, some critical levels to now point out here on the 30-minute time frame. Let's actually make this auto. There we go. I would argue that this has to be, first and foremost, the level that everyone is watching into Monday. Certainly offered some support here at the close, offered some resistance, and then support after this massive run up and pull back into that area. That's, of course, $7.75. Now, if I pop on the after hours, just to sort of illustrate what's going on here after the bell, after the earnings announcement, we are trading underneath it, but of course, anything can happen, before the open on Monday. So keep in mind that this is still going to be a critical area of support should we see any sort of close back above it into the bell on Monday. Critical areas of resistance, obviously going to be the high of today, aka $9.50. If we can get over that, look back over here to the left on the daily perspective, I would make the argument that the next critical area of resistance to pay attention to would be around $10.50. Now, you can't see based on this line, but it does line up as well with that prior area of support, so that would strike me as important. The next one after that would have to be up here, closer to, let's just call it $12. Nice round number. Again, looking at prior support, then resistance as well. So those are sort of upside targets, and that would be, and I use this term very, very lightly, if there is any sort of potential short squeeze to the upside. And I don't say that to say, maybe this is going to turn out to be a GameStop or an AMC or a BlackBerry. No, not at all. I simply mean that literally any shorts who are caught in this down move, as this starts to move higher, maybe they stop out of their shorts, right? And that's going to add to the buying power to the upside. So be aware of that. That would probably cap off my upside target there, at least into the earlier parts of the week. To the downside, if 627 does not hold, if the 50 SMA on the daily does not hold and it completely falls apart, there is some pretty nasty structure underneath us. Note that underneath $5, just for round numbers sake, there is a gap to fill down to about 435, and after that, even another gap, right? So way back here underneath 261 fills to the high of this red candle. You probably can't even see it on the screen, but the high is at $1.77. So just plotting out a very vague level in there. Could get real nasty to the downside should there be any major collapse again. And just remembering what type of stock you're trading here. I'm not going to say it's a pump and dump, but it's certainly not a company that I would look to be holding for the long term. So if you found this video useful or learned anything new, let me know in the comments section down below or by simply leaving the video a thumbs up.